Hey, my name is STIX and welcome to your weekly bite of MMORPG news, a video series where I keep you guys all up to date with the latest releases, the latest news, updates, drama, everything concerning the MMO genre that I think you need to know about in one easy to digest format. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that little bell notification. That way you're made up to date with everything that I post, and I post a lot. I post probably a dozen or so times per month. With that being said, we have a lot to talk about, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Let's start this off with Tarisland. So as you guys are no doubt aware, this is a very WoW looking cross-platform MMO. I gave my very critical thoughts on the game after having played it for a few dozen hours, and there hasn't been a test phase, or at least an active test phase, for a little while now, until roughly a couple days ago when, and I know they don't confirm this or announce this here, but I was reached out to by the developers to do a sponsored dedicated video on the next playable version of the game, and I haven't confirmed or rejected it yet because I'm currently in negotiation, trying to allow them to let me to say whatever I want about the game. I guess I'll let you guys know how that, well, I mean, if you see a sponsored video from Tarisland, you'll know that the negotiation, I guess, was in my favor. Whereas if you don't see a sponsored video from it, then you know they refused to let me say what I wanted to about the game and continue to be critical about it. PAX Day, which is another MMO that a lot of people are very eagerly anticipating, floods Discord with screenshots of wildlife, continues to promise alpha testing soon. Now, I know I saw some of these images and I saw a lot of criticism from people saying, oh my god, from people criticizing the models, saying they look really ugly and not of a caliber that I guess would be acceptable for a 2024 release, especially given the game looks uglier than Black Desert, which was released, 10 years ago. And you know what, that is definitely warranted. The official Temtem subreddit actually completely shut down, like not entirely, like not permanently, but they closed the entire subreddit after what they're claiming was a very toxic environment for players, for moderators, and new members who wanted to join it. This is completely due to their announcement of the Temtem Swarm game. Now, you would have thought that this horrific reception would have been evidence enough that players didn't want this version of the game, but nope. Now, before we continue to discuss any additional games, let me take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Mabinogi is officially opened the website for their Eternity project. Now, for those of you that were unaware, I've done a dedicated video on this, but they are overhauling the entirety of the game, the entire graphical engine of the game, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. This could arguably be one of the best looking anime MMOs in the immediate future. The character models look absolutely incredible. The outfits look incredible. Like, look at how the characters look before. That isn't even a playable character. That was the goddess. And like, the sheer difference in character models is just absolutely phenomenal. They have done some incredible work, and I cannot wait to see this version of the game realize. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but they have an official website up now going over a lot of the changes that have happened and that are happening. Like, all of these were posted on February 27. I hope they post more in the coming weeks and months, because this is something I'm very eagerly anticipating and keeping a very, very close eye on. Camelot Unchained claims it is finally launching in late 2025. Oh my god, it's happening. Hold on, when was this announced? Like, come on. Entered beta 1 in 2018, 6 years ago. That's when it entered beta testing. Barely successful 2013 kick. Dude, this game has been in development for over 13, sorry, not 13, over 11 years. Oh my God. Oh my, wow, well, there you go. Late 2025, guys. Tower of Fantasy is officially launching their big Evangelion. Oh, I kind of liked what I saw there. Yeah, launching their big Evangelion event collaboration on March 12th. For those of you that are still actually playing the game or want to go back at least for the collab. Netmarble has confirmed that Arcto Chronicles, which I've actually done 3 videos I think on over the last couple years, is finally releasing in South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Macau first on PC and mobile in April 2024. A global release was confirmed. It is planned, but this is not going to be a worldwide release, unfortunately. We might get it a month after or a year after, who knows. NCSoft fourth quarter 2023. Guild Wars 2 is a bright spot for NCSoft as Throne and Liberty stumbles. So down here, NCSoft told investors that Throne and Liberty had underperformed and that it is working on sorting out the game's rocky launch. However, it looks as if NCSoft is banking more on Amazon's global release to save the game. This is bad news when the developer of a game says, well, we kind of screwed up and nobody likes our game, and it's up to the global publisher to hopefully revitalize it and save it. You know the game's in a bad state. Vindictus Defying Fate is a brand new version of Vindictus, fully rendered in a 2024 compatible graphic engine, but is also, interestingly, at present, instead of it being an MMO, a single player RPG. But they did confirm they are implementing multiplayer into the game, which means this is essentially going to be a reskinning, a retelling, and a remake of Vindictus. Because let's be honest, while you could see dozens of other characters in the quest hubs, you could only ever enter with a couple people. So it was a hub MMO, and this kind of will be very similar with regards to the, I guess, number of people you can play with cooperatively. Dual Revolution is an MMO that just launched February 2029. It is a Pokemon-esque MMO that I actually thought looked kind of good, but apparently it has already been received very negatively. 20% of reviews are positive. They were saying it's a pay-to-win mess. The catch rate is worse than the gacha. Monetarily predatory vibes. So this is probably a big pass for me. Although again, it did actually look kind of good. Bandai Namco reports year-over-year sales drop, admitting Blue Protocol JP significantly fell short. The new online game significantly fell short of plan. This is a game we're all looking forward to. We're all so excited for since like 2019. For 5 years. For 5 years they've been wasting our time. Because Japan doesn't really like the game. Evidently, it's not doing very well. They are overhauling a lot of it. They're continuing to push out regular content updates, but evidently that just isn't enough. And finally, Dark Olympus, Goddess of Darkness, is another cross-platform MMO that just launched on February 27th in Japan. For those of you that are interested, this is also playable outside of Japan. This is not actually a very good looking MMO. I've seen trailer footage, gameplay footage, and yeah, this is a big pass for me. This does not at all look and feel like a PC quality MMO. And why are her lips so thin? It's just, and her boobs are so big. I don't, like, oh my. Anyway, that is everything that mattered to me in the MMO genre over the course of the last 2 weeks. It's unfortunate to see the state of Throne and Liberty and Blue Protocol. It kind of, like, there wasn't really much good news to discuss today. But I mean, there really rarely seems to be in the MMO genre, which is really, really depressing to think about. But hey, you know what? If none of these games are of any interest to you, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now that might be more up your alley.